Yo, what's up, guys? This is the third time I record this video. So I recorded at the 23 hours, from 23 hours 49 minutes mark, and now it's just took a lot of attempts. So got some internet disconnect and everything. So yeah, now it's like already exceeded 24 hours. But basically, this is a RF build that you would be the start scenario that showcase where you would end up with after 24 hours. This is different with the elementalist. So which did a 12, which had a 4.5k health and for 3k in-game damage, 2-tip damage. And we are dealing like just like a little more than 1/3 of the damage in terms of fire trap. And Of course, our Razor's fire looks a little bit better, and we have better buff. So when you activate the buff, then the number actually is more than half the damage of the elementals, but still not as good. They have like better explosion and everything, but this build is better. Why? Because in this build you can farm a reasonable juicy map. I don't really think juicy is the right word here, but you have like 187 quantity plus 118 rarity, and this is allows you to properly farm logbook. So this is I just started testing things here and there, and now I finally got the positive chaos resistance. And in this case, I don't have tons of currency, but and it's enough for you to get started. Yeah, I just farmed 2 locals. So this is a weird point that if you are in the league, so after 24 hours, it's either like 2.5 a day or like 3 days, and then you'll be able to actually farm the currency. So at this point, pro gamers are already they are already playing the juicy contents. But as a normal player, I would be very happy if I could end up like in this position in the next league, because previously at the 3, I just basically was fooling around, couldn't figure out how to make profit. But now, if I would be able to get into this spot, then I know that by farming this atlas tree, that I'll be able to just farm the uh, uh, expedition and get. This is one of the like reasonable, profitable contents in the game, and I could do some harvest when I get more passive allocated. But yeah, so how did I get there? Get here. So firstly, I started with this fire trap, and then like spent 8 hours. You can see like it's a little bit less than 8 hours, but actually I spent about 10 minutes in doing the building from the beach. We need to get level 4 to get some fire spells, and it was a little bit tricky to get all the inter gear. I didn't know aware of that, so it took me some time to figure out the attributes. That takes some time, but the main reason why it's 1.5 at least 1.5 well, not yeah, almost 1.5 hours slower than the elementalist is because the fire trap is doing like a significant fewer damage. And to tweak the Razor's fire on and off, you need to, because when your HP got increased, you need to spend some, you need to like figure out how to get more region. So yeah, that's what it was a little bit tricky. It was my first time playing RF Juggernauts. Several years ago, I played RF Inquisitor, and it was using a totally different mechanism. So and the league star scenario was totally different, so it doesn't have any reference value at all. So after that, I at the level so basically this is the I just kept playing after I finished campaign. So I started as 4 p.m. to simulate the EST the start scenario, and at after 9 hours, 9 hours 70 minutes, and then before I go to bed. Before I went to bed, I got to level 71, and as you can see, I already had a 4k health. And yeah, So after that, at 12 time, 12 hours, I got level 80. And then like this is I was mainly using the very similar strategy that I was using with the Elementist. So with this switch, I got to level 89, I think. Yes, 89 at 21 and a half hours mark. And at that time so I filled a lot of my Atlas tree, but the problem was that I was not able to run any profitable contents. So basically, if you are squishy, you will just get slapped by some increase movement speed, cut speed, attack speed mobs. They will just jump on your face and slap you down. This is a problem I had with my LA Dead Eye, and that I tried in this league as well. So yes, it's really fast. But the thing is that when you just sometimes you just die to a random boss all of a sudden because of maybe it has like super high evasion, I don't know, like different reasons, like some mouse that just slap your face, and that is not only frustrating but also not efficient enough. You can just skill the map and keep on doing it. And probably is going to be more optimistic, and maybe you can use your speed to do the Maven splinter farming and something like and the temple farming, this kind of things. But I just didn't like it. So I decided to play like some by default. So of course, like when you get to like cremation necromancer, then you'll be super tanky. But this that's why I try to start with a witch ascendant, but it just didn't work out. Like I tried fire trap necro and tried elements fire trap, and still like I just couldn't get to a point that I could actually sit there start farming currency. So I decided to try either like champion or juggernauts, and the juggernauts really popular in the recent few days thanks to the famous streamer that make a wiki, and like now he's playing Diablo 4. But yeah, so like you have different knowledge, and a lot of people are following his guide, and it's pretty cool. So in yeah, so like I forgot where is the I think this is, yeah, so yeah, Pox, is that what his name is? So yeah, just if you want, just search for like his RF wiki, and then look at the FAQs if you already know the game. If you don't, you look at the video guides, or like if you know a little bit, and then read then start with the reading guide. But basically, he has an excellent guide, and what we are having here is that we are going to follow like his guide, and try to make a tanky build, and I was pretty happy about the outcome. So what it looks like is that you have like not that much damage as the same as Elementist, but you are very tanky. You have like without a lot of investment, you have a 60k armor, and you have like 1.5k region, and have 88 auras and 90 Ferras. So with these stats, you'll be able to run basically solo face tank expedition, and then make your currency from there. You can of course watch his guide, but I will briefly talk about what are the paths I was following. So basically, again, I didn't follow his POB as I mentioned before. I was just looking at the POE.ninja and try to figure out like the popular nodes. So basically, this is fairly simple. So some reservation here and here, and some resistance nodes here, and some life nodes plus reservation armor here. You don't take the energy shield nodes and armor nodes. So instead, you go mainly for the armor and life and the rest. So if you put all this together, and I didn't go with the minion nodes, you could go with the minion nodes, but I was having some rest issue, so I used some one chaos small cluster. You wouldn't be able to have this for league star scenario, of course, but you can allocate these nodes to get some chaos resistance. And it will be different if it's really league star scenario. I'll explain why really soon. But basically, elemental and fire, DOT, all these possible nodes. This is because DOT is multiplication, and all the other like fire and everything are all addition. So that's why pure DOT is always more important. And the reason why like I got a pretty pretty lucky in terms of gear is that I was able to get this double region gloves, and with empty mouse I can get I can add a 61 life. So this is I spent 1 chaos, but a reasonable price you would expect should be like 5 to 10 chaos. And at least our scenario, you may need to craft your own, but basically without this, you will have like 300 fewer life region. And this is double influence helm. Again, I just spent like maybe 2 cows for it. This is exactly the mods I was using, but it's a bad base, so I have to craft plus armor. So basically, candidates here are of course life and the increased area gem whatever, but you need a unveil, and I still don't have that, so it's not possible. And I'm taking armor because there's a mastery that you can get. You can get to have one more maximum rest. And this is also very cheap. So I just I got this you try to get the cheapest all fire spell skill gem. I think I spent maybe like another 1 kills. Basically you can go with low level gear, but this will not be that many in the league start the first day. But I think by the second and third day, this kind of thing should be everywhere already. If not, then you sacrifice the burning damage FX and just go with elemental damage plus the all fire skill. And then yeah, these are just you know, like a 1+1 all fire. It can be really cheap. I think I got it for 1K, but now like the cheapest one is 10C already, and we have a nice fire and life craft, so this is good enough already for our super budget build. And these are, you know, just a 1C level gear. Actually, I think this I just got them randomly on the from like identifying. So yeah, this is, you know, this is from the unveil from unveil, and yeah, this is some really low level one that I was using. Let me see what the item level here. 83. Oh, actually I was wrong. So yeah, I don't know, but I don't think I bought it. I think it's just from like I kind of keep all my rings there. And then here are the uniques. So the uniques, I don't think League Star, I think League Star probably is going to be more expensive. So I got this from 10 chaos. You should probably expect 50 chaos for these boots. And without this, the AOE will be just worse, and you will have to like just basically save your money for this. I think the belt is going to be cheap, and the trick about this one is that you can get the low number on the implicit, because you can use blast orb to easily just reroll value. And for the shield, I think I paid 5 cows, maybe again, maybe this start it will be like 20 kills or something. But without, so basically without these things, I think the build should be fine. But without these two pieces, you still should be able to get to tier 16, just doing like fewer damage, but still it will be doable. And yeah, so that is the gear and the potential budget. So I did use the league mechanism a bit, but it's actually not very helpful. So like I want to try recover 30 life, and when you block, whether it's good or not, it turned out to be pretty bad. So yeah, just this is nothing. But you know, like here, all these things are nothing. So like this is for dexterity. Like it's just basically like we can't really refund a node here. So that is meaningless. And the flask setup and everything, you can just basically just craft it myself. I didn't really craft. I just I think trigger is the most important thing. And other than the trigger, all these mods, I just avoid something like less duration or less effect, so make them like have no negative effect. But obviously, all these things are not very helpful at this moment because the flask currency actually are not really that easy to get in the early game. So this is this is how I where I'm at the start scenario, and I think this is a better strategy as I stand, because at this point I will be able to generate a currency. And by the way, you will probably use this is the most expensive piece. So I spent 3D1 for this. I got one lucky D1. I got two lucky D1 from the other accounts, which is considered cheating. You should expect playing with maybe 50 kills, maybe plus 3, or maximum res chests, if you want to go with this route with only 4 links. And the net would be, you know, like just half of the fire trap damage. So you will spend more time doing the dealing with the rare mobs. And another alternative, of course, is armor-based base plus 6 link, and that probably is going to be again 30-40 chaos Lizard scenario. So yeah, you basically need to progress. Luckily, with this setup, you can finish the Eater of the World and the Syrian Arch subquest to get the Void Stones, and most importantly to unlock the full potential of the altar. So just run those altars a couple of tier 16 maps, and you will get enough currency to start rolling. So this is not exactly the start, but I think it will be quite close. And yeah, I think next time probably I'm going to try some. I'm thinking about two strategy. One is that you just go back to the speedy and high damage but low survivability, and run in builds run lower maps. And I think as long as you have one Whitestone, then you can use Alva to run the temples. So like if you get all the nodes allocated, you just need to run 3 maps to have a temple. And temple usually this art will be cheaper, but I think 30 40 cows you should be able to get, which is not a lot. That is why I'm still hesitating. So another quick way to generate currency is this and the trial node. So that no, not this node. I think there's a trial node. So that maybe you run maybe 10 maps, then you will run into a special trial that can sell like for maybe 100 kills for a tribute. And the strong boss won't be profitable without juicing, but the essence you have all the nodes allocated, then you can either like as I said, really hit TFT, but if you if you are okay with that, with them to get all your information from the character. So then of course like you can spark sell on TFT. Alternatively, you can buy the basis, the fractured basis, and then spam essence and to craft something that you can sell for like 15-20 kills, because in early game they are still, the demand is pretty high. So to craft a bunch of them, you should be able to make your currency. And of course, there are some like some fluff crafting. So basically, just sitting your highlight out the crafting and make currency, or like you highest, you just speed run the highest have reviews, and then run the blueprints. That's a lot of trading, but it's again still doable. There are different strategies, but uh, those things I'm thinking about testing this out. But as I was saying that there are basically two approaches. One was that approach, I'm still hesitating. The other is to use champion to try some bow builds. So basically, I have huge problem with my LA that I just absolutely hate when some monster just super fast slam my face. But on the other hand, maybe champion nodes will be better in terms of survivability, like on the explosive arrow on ignite should be a pretty standard slash popular slash stable build. So I may give that a shot. And this is what my atlas looks like. Or like I will just keep enjoying this character and try to play a little bit and try to enjoy the logbook farming to get some currency. So yeah, so this is where we are at, and thanks for watching. And if you I'm thinking about properly like making some content, maybe separating different channels. So I know like a lot of you guys probably wouldn't really want to subscribe, because when you see my previous video, just some random videos here and there. But maybe you can just subscribe and see if my contents will going to like like make you interested. I have some ideas of properly making some contents, but so far I'm just satisfying myself and like read this, do some very personal podcast thing, not really proper guides. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I hope you are a new player as you are the same level as me, so that you can like get some idea from this level instead of those super high streamer level. So thank you guys. See you next time.